Hello and welcome to day 2 here at Efteling. So day 1 I was going to end it with Aquanura, but by that point it was too hot. It was 36 degrees yesterday, which is ridiculous, especially here when you're surrounded by plants. So if you've got asthma like me, it makes it very hard. So hopefully today it should be a little bit cooler. I think it's meant to be up to 26 today. Obviously that can change over the course of the day, but here's hoping it don't go higher than that. Looking forward to day 2 on park. Didn't feel so well yesterday, so yesterday I just did 2 on Vogel Rock, which was running really well actually, really fast. 1 on Symbolica. Had a few problems with queue jumpers in Symbolica going underneath the cattle penny bit to get ahead of people in the queue who was already walking around the cattle pen. Nice people. So I think I'm going to hopefully start with Max and Moritz today, depending what it's like. So this morning Max and Moritz is down with what they're calling technical difficulties. I really can't see the colour in there, so I don't know what's going on with this camera. I'm hoping it's better on the computer. So because I don't fancy standing in it when it hits the height of the heat of the day, and when it's stupidly busy, I think I'm going to do Piranha. By the time I walk through it, I don't think I'll be waiting any more than 5 minutes. Oh wow, that is a long walk through. So I actually put it over bits of theming and stuff. The queue line is a little bit up and down, so fair warning if you've got access issues. This is a long walk. I've got it all the way up to there. Now, but sometimes this ride is really tame, and other times it is a major soaker ride. So I wonder which one we'll get today. See here one of the bits of feeling that you have to walk over. Got a little thing up to it, slope up to it, slope down from it. Seems very popular this morning, Piranha does. Okay, we'll be waiting a while. See there, it stopped. I think maybe a lot of people have thought with Max and Moritz ain't open. They've made group sizes bit now, one each side. One group each side rather. Okay, for some reason my thing just turned off. Maybe it did get a bit too much water in it. It is slightly damp. A little bit moist. Oh! Oh! My lunch is wet. My lunch is wet! Yeah, that gives a good idea of what Piranha can do. Jesus, it's chucking me around today. Oh, see this bit where I'm here, when it's turned up, which I can see it is, can be one of the worst bits for getting absolutely drenched. Just want to be more than a nice spray if it comes near me. Oh! And here we go back in. Lovely little ride, nicely refreshed. In other words, my butt is wet, but I'm refreshed. get it, but I'm refreshed. I just got off Piranha and come round to look and see what was going on with Max and Moritz. And I'm proud to report they literally opened up the gate while I just was standing there. Like, I hadn't even been stood there like long. I'd been stood there for about 30 seconds, if that. Like, I literally walked along to it. I was about to stop and see what the situation was. And then it was like, oh no, let's just go. Oh my god, I have to walk around this whole thing though. I'm hoping we don't get people cut in front, because then I can be the first on. I think we're going to go for Max, because that's one I hear is best. Oh, this is a long walk round though. Oh, unless Moritz is that way and Max is this way. Yeah. I'd love to stop and take more pictures, but I can't. There are people behind me. Hopefully get some more later.
You are not allowed to use your mobile phone, GoPro, camera, or similar equipment.
No GoPro.
For safety.
Trains look really nice. Must be doing a test on this stuff. Staff I've chosen to use Max rather than Moritz, so that might say something as well. Beautiful building. Well, I've just had my first go on Max and Moritz. Pretty good. I did Max side. Like, the only way really to describe it, which it's going to be sort of overselling it a little bit, but it's just sort of like the first thoughts that come to my head, and I try to be honest as I can on what my thoughts are on everything, is essentially, if Taran and Flying Fish had a baby and you put it in Efteling, this is it. Like, you've got some actually really quite sharp, whippy corners, a little bit of force, especially for a kiddie coaster. Obviously you've got the mini sort of launch. It's not really a launch, but yeah, it was nice. A really good family ride. Now, do I prefer it to Bob or do I prefer Bob? Bob had more thrill, but I think this is a lot better for families. I think it deserves its place here at Efteling. It's a great ride, fun, well themed. It's just, yeah, give it a go. Definitely come out here and try it. Obviously I did Max, I will be doing Moritz later in the day. But as you can see, whereas I got really lucky, I got here just as it had opened after doing a ride on Piranha, where it had been close to technical difficulties beforehand. It's now quite a bit of a queue out the door to get on it. So the Baron is currently on 70 minutes, so I've decided to wait for the Linda de Hollander. As you can see, the queue line has changed a little bit. It's basically taking you a route that's outside, so I think that you skip all of the indoor section, which in some ways is better because then the virus doesn't spread as easily outside. I think when people are outside and they're in a place that they can be seen a little bit more, that they're actually a little bit more conscious about social distancing. Like in a lot of places where it's been sort of more closed in, I've had to ask people to wait back behind me, but the group that's come in the queue just behind me here has automatically stood where they should have stood, which is good. So I think it's going to take us all up and over the show building for Villinger. That's what it looks like. Some people aren't distancing over there, but whatever, the people near me are, so that's the main thing. Really interesting thing about the Villinger queue line. One, it's all outside, and two, you get some weird angles on the ride. But not even just on this ride. You can see the lift hill of Ballarat from here. Probably going up. People behind me are getting a bit close though. Oh no, I missed it going up. Oh no. Just a bit of a unique angle on it, even if it is through the trees. Going up over there. I've ever gone up here, so it should be interesting. Why have they got white on the stairs and then not on the top of the stairs? That's so annoying. Seeing up here so close. Seeing the Baron quite from this angle, even if it's through the trees. Yeah, it's nice that they've got the extra speakers all over the place as well, so you can still hear the ride music even if you're in a different place from where they're normally set up. And there we go. My colour's sorted out a bit now. A bit better. It's really hard to see it. See, it's still got a blue tinge, but not quite so much, I don't think. Still getting used to this camera. You know, I usually vlog on my phone. See, not many people wearing masks on the ride. It's nice that they've got it set up so nice up here. Usually you only see this one down on the bottom. But but they've still got details like candles in the windows and stuff. Stuff that you cannot see from down there. On that whole boat. Maybe they give me a whole boat. "25-minute wait from here." So far I reckon we've waited probably about half hour. So it's a little bit above the time that they said it was. But then there has been groups that haven't really been distanced from each other along the queue line. So if people were distanced the whole way, then I'm guessing it would probably be right. Where things are. Oh, it's so pretty up here. I know it's cattle penny bit is tapered off, like much like the others in the park. You can see the bottom bit of it is exposed. The bit where most people are breathing level, it's all covered up. But if you've got very little kids, their breath could still get on you. Which is not ideal, but Efteling's done a fantastic job of it, especially when you compare it to other theme parks. It's a lot brighter in here than it is normally. You can see the social distancing markers, some of which the barrels is part of covering. You never get this clear shots in here. Some of the markers in a bit weird place, so I just had to step back, spread the white there, but there's someone actually there, but it's hard to see them. I've got the whole back row to myself. See now I'm queuing for Python. Got a cattle penny bit there, and people don't look very distant, but at least they've got the dividers up. The queue line does extend quite a way. It's like way past that building is. It's gone all the way over there. Toilet bit there which people are queuing for. One way in, one way out. Weird seeing the coaster from such strange angles all over the park with different ways that the queue line's going round. No boarding system in place now for Python like there normally is. There is a boarding pass system, however, for Ravelin. So it's good that they've finally got that show up and running, and there was a massive problem last year with the Dragon for that show. That's been fixed, but it is a shortened version of the show. Normally Ravelin is about 20 minutes, 30 minutes. At the moment it's about 12 minutes long, so but time slot for about 3 o'clock. There is time slots pretty much throughout the day, but they will go. So if you want a morning time slot, then make sure you get it, and then the evening time slots, again, still make sure that you get it. Don't just rely on being in the area at the time and being able to get one, because you probably won't. I almost managed to get one yesterday, but then it asked me to log in, and by the time that I'd logged in to do it on the app, so you have to have an Efteling account on the app to do that. By the time it had finally logged in on the app, that time slot was filled, so fun times. Now, as to ride in Villinger. I think that was like one of the best runs I've ever had on Villinger, just to be perfectly honest with you. It was running really, really smoothly. It was really fast, like really insanely fast for that ride. They definitely worked on the projections a bit. They definitely worked on some of the water effects as well. It was really, really well done, to be honest with you. Really well done. So, yay! Here's hoping I have such a good ride on Python as well. But to be fair, Python, you know what you're getting. It's smooth, but it's forceful as hell. So that's exactly how I expect it to still be, to be honest with you. I doubt that there's going to be any change there.
Please take your luggage with you during the ride. Next to your feet.
Here and there, and that sort of thing shouldn't be possible, which it is. Well, I've just had some dinner here in Panorama. It is worth noting that the toilet queue here is very long for like 2 cubicles, so maybe rethink having a toilet break here if you can do. It's quite a long wait. There are others around the park, but bear in mind toilets aren't necessarily in the same place that you would normally be used to them being. There may not be the same sort of access to them that you are used to having, so just plan that into your day, and if you spot some, have a think, do I really want to wait until I can find the next ones? Like, if you can, brilliant. If you need to go, just go, because it's just, you make your life difficult otherwise if you don't know where they are, especially the first day. It's not so bad once you've been here a day or two, but before that it can be a real pain in the butt. So queue times are still pretty high around the park. I think Barron's about 80. Max and Moritz did reach 30. So I'm hoping that is still around that time and continues to be around that time later. But in the meantime, I think I might have one on Vogel. It just certainly looks shorter than it was earlier. There is obviously social distance as much as possible, but there are a few pinch points in the park, like this area where there's a lot of people coming in and out of different ways. But Efteling have by and large done the absolute best that they can with it. See, when this opened up the other day, people weren't really paying attention to this whole white and red round bit. They seem to be today, so yay. Gotta love this ride. Excuse me? Why are you just... Are you waiting with you? Oh, I thought you was in the queue. That's why I've come round, and now that's gone ahead of me.
Yes, ma'am.
That's just rude. I can fucking see I was trying to get in queue. And they're standing up the back side of the people in front of them. Definitely staying away from them. Excuse me, on the white bit? Oh, yeah. Thank you. As you can see, queue now for Vogel is building up a bit. They have got it on free trains, so it probably is still about half an hour. These people in the high vis are basically in charge of social distancing, telling people to stay 1.5 metres apart. Meme of the day, social distancing is no jokey. Yes, I just went there. I haven't been in this shop for a long time actually. So to go into the shop you need to have a thingy, a bucket. This pretty much looks exactly the same as the last time I came in. I think that's a new shop. Shop. Oh, that's really cute actually. I didn't see that before. Not gonna lie, if I had room I might take it back for myself. No, I think I'd want a more adult-y one. Postcards are always worth checking out for a cheapo poster because they're only €1. Oh, I know someone who'd love that. Still fake bit in the forest. I like this one. It's got all the designs on. As soon as I close the camera, that's when I spot some Max and Moritz merchandise, which I obviously don't have yet because wasn't a thing before. So yes please, I will have one of them magnets. €2.50. Definitely alright for a magnet. Here at the entrance to Efteling, so you can see you need a boarding pass on the app. It's fairly simple to get. You have to be in the park to get one, because it'll use your phone's location to tell who you are. You need the app and you need a login to be logged in. My time slot says 3:10. It's 3 now. So because they're letting people in, I'm going to try. Yeah. Hello. Thank you. Danke. Efteling, here we go. Let's see what this socially distanced seating looks like. At least I'm hoping the seating's socially distanced. Hey. I really hope that caught on camera. Danke. It's good they're telling you to stand in the white. Unfortunately, obviously can't have the meal here at the moment, for obvious reasons. This is what a socially distanced travelling is looking like. Just waiting for the group to get up the stairs before sending the next lot and sending alternate sides each time, so that people have got enough time to get up and still be distant. Right. I'm going to do the big step 1, 2. About 2 big steps between 1 and 2, the red and the white. Some people haven't really got the memo of standing in the white, not in the red. And some other people just crawling up other groups' arses. They could be all together for all I know, but I know earlier on certainly I witnessed a few times people were literally up each other's arses for no reason.
The guidelines of the official regional authorities, a few elements of the show are amended. Dames en heren, meisjes en jongens. De Efteling heet u van harte welkom in de magische stad Ravelijn, waar raven ruiters zullen zijn.
You can see there's red and white zones with the seating. They've left a row in between people as well. And they're telling people to come different ways to enter through different bits so that people aren't always coming up the same way. You can sort of see the spacing in action. A few people have sort of ignored it a little bit, but most people have stuck to it. Could be that there's just some very large families. always a member of staff at every point as well, just checking that people are distant enough and telling you where to sit. So it's a shame I'm not further down, but it is what it is.
Mijn naam is Halina. Vandaag vertel ik hoe het allemaal begon. Ik moest 5 helpen.
The original rambling was longer than it must actually be then, because that's like they said that they cut the show, they changed the show quite a bit. Still good, still very good. Still glad I saw it, but yeah, it's just very, very different. I mean, even how they have the horses down there and like stop them from running all the way around so that people aren't crossing each other's paths as much. Like, there's just a lot of random little changes in there as well as big ones. But it was nice. See, obviously they're getting people up row by row rather than
Dames en heren, meisjes en
everyone at
jongens.
once. So many people just miss out the beauties of Efteling, especially now that the sun's starting to come out. How beautiful it is. These are lampposts. We've got Saturn in the middle of them. There aren't many of these around. If you struggle, there are a few big park maps. And it tells you where you are, but there's not very many of them. It's usually at central locations. Like here where I am now is the main walkway, so from the start of the park most people head up this way, Symbolica, and then Symbolica's pretty much in the middle of everything. But actually here, just up from Symbolica's closer to the middle. So you've got Spooks a lot there, one of the oldest attractions in the park. Just over here we've got Piranha, and then we've got the new Max and Moritz just there. Walk up from Piranha, you've got Baron, Joris, and the other big rides. So most people, most thrill seeker friends who are watching this, you're going to be most interested in this half of the park. But don't forget, this part of the park is beautiful over here. And you've got Vogel Rock right at the very back there. There's another coaster to check out. So I think I'm ahead to do Moritz. I did Max earlier. I mean, just look at how beautiful it is. Can you imagine a more beautiful park in the world? Can you really? Like, look. Everywhere you turn here is just gorgeous. I haven't seen the new Fabula yet. I don't know if I'm going to do it or not this trip. Purely because of the whole social distancing thing. I'm not sure how I feel about sitting inside and watching something with people. Traveling's more open air than Fabula is. Although I did see it when it was Pandadrum, just before they changed it. Looks a lot in there. Again, it's a quite long show, so I'm not going to bother with it this time, I don't think. So a walkway just under Spooks a lot. What I find quite interesting is just when they was making Max and Moritz, they've still got these boards up, but that's because the other side of them perspex queuing boards. I think them toilets there are still open, but they've got extra ones just here. Which these seem to be the quietest ones in the park, by and large. So if you come in here, you need the loo. They're a pretty safe bet to be empty. So most people, by and large, keep them a distance, but I think just the Dutch seem to have this attitude that it doesn't matter, or that it's not real. I mean, especially in Amsterdam, the amount of people, I mean, I know it's Amsterdam, so they're probably coughing for another reason, but the amount of people that cough, and it's just nothing to them. Like, they don't go, oh, excuse me, or oh, I've got a cold, or anything, nothing like that. Like, they just don't seem to give a single shit. Here's a main pinch point. You can see some people are standing in the red zones where they shouldn't be. Piranha looks a lot busier now, but from judging by earlier, probably not got the extension bit open. The queue line is meant to be 25 minutes, according to the app. Max and Moritz was meant to be 30, so let's see what it's actually like. It might have gone up in the time that I've been walking here. It might be that maybe the app's not accurate. The app hasn't seemed as accurate today as it normally is, to be honest with you. Oh dear, it's definitely building up over here. You can see there is one-way bit round here, but it's difficult to not touch it because otherwise there's loads of people walking. And I'm trying to walk over there if I can fucking get through. But because everyone's got their buggies here, it's made it hard to distance. Yeah, staying 30 up there as well. Oh, it looks longer than 30. It looks way longer than 30. Yeah, my advice for in these socially distanced queue lines is wait for them to get to the next white marker before you even start moving, because otherwise you don't know if they're going to reach it, and then you can end up having to stand in red, which you don't want to have to do, because then you're too close to people. It can happen with people behind you as well, so make sure that they're paying attention to the distancing rules as well. Yeah, it's not the nicest around here. It's kind of dusty. Access-wise isn't the best. Oh, but at least they've got this open now, because beforehand we had to walk all the way around all of it when it had first opened. Yeah, almost fell on that. So online and in other vloggers' things, it looks like all enclosed in all of the queue lines. That is not the case. They've got shaded parts up in part of the Max and Moritz queue. It's not over the whole thing. Can't really see much yet. Another tip of social distancing here. Stand right at the back of the white line, that way if people do move too close to you, you've got a whole metre almost to play with. See bits more here of the ride. It's not an ideal view of it, but see, most people are distancing. Also, if you have got someone at your backside, there are a few points in queue lines where it's got crosses and ticks, so you can point out when people aren't on the right one, depending which one's touched or sat on. You've got like notes on there, so if it plays an actual tune when you do them in that order, I don't know. But it's certainly interesting that they've got that there. These lights are nice. And they're nice as well, whatever they are, fluffy things. Guys, Carmen's getting a bit annoyed that I'm not moving up so fast, so I shall try and go around a bit quicker, but also try and film filming at the same time with one hand, because I'm cool like that. I wasn't sure I thought that earlier. No, I thought it that time. Oh, so maybe that's what does the water. Oh. The theming is really nice. It's like kids' fun port. And as you can see there, you can choose which ride you're going to go for. The Max and Moritz. So earlier on I rode Max, so that means I've got to ride Moritz. Got to get them creds, yo. After this I've only got 4 more to get and then I'm on 200. Not bad, not bad. Not as good as some people that I know, but Nathan. My battery's running low. Really hoping you can see that. Sounds really detailed and nice actually. Look at the detail on that. I don't know if you can see it. I'm hoping you can see it. It's deliberately messy. It's controlled mess. All over it. Oh my god, this is so cool. Little details like flowers and stuff. It's even a single ride of it, but obviously there isn't at the moment. And I'm going to get on to put this away in a minute before I get to the ride. But in the meantime, last time I rode Max on the back. Now it's towards the front of the ride that I'll be riding. The ride vehicle is very different. This is sort of like very different. See the colours, but obviously it's all more green tones this side. Whereas the other side is more blue. So if you are coming to Efteling during social distancing, Bear in mind you're going to have to wait a while for any food place or anything like that. I mean, your best bet maybe if you want something quick is one of them. But to be fair, this place does really nice fish and snacks. Probably have some tomorrow, but I'm not eating anything else today. So earlier today I didn't eat at Coles, I ate at Panorama bit. Yeah, it was nice. Salmon sandwich, I've had it before, know what to expect. Is it bad that I've had like half of the food in this park before? It's not genuinely because like I eat a lot, because I'd say I eat about the same as an average person. Probably less on park days by and large, because I don't tend to eat on most park days, but I eat when I'm here because I feel more chilled. I don't feel like I want to run around. And because the food's nice here. Everyone seems to rave about these like fries on a stick. It's like basically like potato but thicker than potato. I mean chips, like crisps. That's the word. The thicker than crisps, like actually potatoey on a stick. Oh yeah, there's a lot of references to the sledges. Obviously referencing Bob. I did see a few sledge ride things in the queue line again. Maybe it is put in part of Max and Moritz, but it's not in the part that I know of. But at least it's in keeping with the sledding thing. It's a little sort of like throwback to Bob. I do miss Bob. Right, it is time for me to review Max and Moritz, though, I think, after we've watched it a bit from this angle. Hopefully over here we should see a little bit more. She says, hopefully. So on Barron I've just seen 2 trains go round empty. So it may mean they've just sanitised it, or it may mean it's gone down. Queue's on 60 minutes, they reckon. But I reckon more, because I'm not even in the cattle penny actual queue bit yet. Not that it's cattle penny, because they've sorted that out incredibly well. But anyway, while I'm waiting for them to send another train so that I can film it going around from this angle, Moritz. It was decent. It was definitely decent. You can definitely feel the speed a lot more so when it speeds up on that side, I think, than you can do on Max. But Max is consistently sort of fast. I mean, it does speed up, obviously, when it goes through the station, but it is definitely that Moritz, when it kicks up, you can feel it kick up a lot more. That's got people on the screen. You can probably see quick time there in the footage. On Barron they are loading every row, however of course it's that there are a few sort of seats empty between people. So earlier on it was myself and another person who was riding alone, and we was at the opposite ends to each other, so neither of us could sit in the middle, sadly. And it was sadly in the middle row, so I'm really hoping for a front row. I'm really hoping for a front row, because this is the best ride in the park by a mile. One of the best rides in Europe. I absolutely adore it. As always, I have my Barron hat, but another essential thing, well, it's not essential, you don't have to wear these on ride, but I'm choosing to wear a mask on ride. This is one I made online. One of them custom websites. I don't endorse any of them particularly. I say that it's a particularly good mask, but I've got a little logo on there, the Efteling logo, and a picture of Barron that I found online as well, which is really nice. So one thing I may not have mentioned earlier on about Barron it's fairly obviously this bit is locked off and you have to go down the row 1 bit because it's got the tarpaulin thing the other side. Obviously social distance the whole way round. Another tip as well, if you can, if you're on like white, stand as close to the corner as possible so people can see that there's actually someone on that bit, because otherwise if the white bit goes round the corner and you're stood on a white bit, they can't see that you're actually on it because you're around the corner from them, so then people can't distance, because if they move up then the people behind them move up and then it just gets difficult. So it's just something to bear in mind. Hey, we're actually going to the station. Pretty full that time, to be fair. I mean, obviously you can see on this, on the corners, it's generally red. But not all of the time. Some ones, they're white. Which can make it really awkward if someone's like there, and this is a wall, and you can't physically see them from where you are. Expect this train to be empty. What I think they're doing is they're fully... Oh no, this one isn't empty. Maybe they're sanitising every other train or something. Just in an empty train. Let's get the look of fear in their eyes. They blab it. Barron's looking beautiful in sunshine now. It's okay for the sun to come out today, but it's overcast most of the day. But now it has, it just really shows off how beautiful this park is. You can see the distance in there, 2 middle seats are empty. Quite a lot of the rest of that ride is empty as well. I do think there could potentially be a slightly better batch system on that, because they are just sort of like counting basically 3 groups on each side through. So that they're fit in the pre-showroom because it's set up for 3 on each side, regardless of your group size. So there are sometimes, like say for example the last ride I had on it, there could have been another group on that as well easily, because I had the whole back row to myself. So that's just something that they could look into. I was also speaking to a staff member here at Barron, who I'm not going to name or shame or whatever, but they was telling me that they've been asking about a Halloween event, but that the bosses don't really want to do that here. I can see why, but we were saying how it would work if you divided up sort of the thrill ride type side of the park and the non-thrill ride side of the park. You could have like the twisted fairy tales and just like the real like gritty stuff on the thrill side of the park, and then the other side of the park you just have more roaming characters. Just nice style characters rather than scary, just for the little kiddies. Even if they do it as a separate event day, I mean probably obviously not this year, but in future I'm really hoping that New Year's goes as planned this year, because I had to miss it last year. So I'm really hoping I don't have to miss it again next year. I've got my 2019 New Year's band on, as well as of course my Barron band, which the only thing is with the bag drip service here you do get a band that basically has got similar symbols, but then it's got a number of where they put your bag, so sometimes I end up accidentally giving them this, but I haven't done it this trip. I'm just waiting now to watch Aquanura after 2 rounds on Max and Moritz. I didn't think I'd have time for more than 1, but the queue line, it said 35 minutes. The first time I was probably waiting around maybe 25 minutes, and the second time probably 15 minutes. It's definitely quieting up. That's pretty sure I just made up a word. As the day goes on here. The park does shut at 10. The first showing of Aquanura is at 9 o'clock. There is another one at 9:30. This avoids everyone being in the same spot at the same time, but I want to catch the first show this time. Usually I watch it from the front of the lake, but actually the back of the lake is still a pretty freaking stunning view over by where Fata Morgana is. So the plan is watch this, And then I think I might try and do a night ride on the Baron or even on Joris, because I haven't even rode Joris once yet this trip. And that would be a good time to go over there, because hopefully then most people are then coming out that way around the park, and I'll be going that away, hopefully with not many other people, and I'm right sort of like around the corner from it. So there's a one-way system now to get to it. I think you can still go up the lake round that way, but I tend to always go the way around Baron anyway, which you can get there, but it's one way, so you can't get back through that way, so you then have to either walk the other way, which I'm not sure how that, because I haven't went round that way yet, around the back of Joris. I don't think that way will be open because of where the Joris queue line starts. So sort of the cut through bit that is just not existent, so maybe you can't even go around that way. I don't know. So it might be that they have to go all the way around the other end of the park. But yeah, I've got 2 minutes of battery left. Let's see how much of Aquanura I can actually film. Might do a bit on my phone, I don't know. But for now, like, subscribe, share, do all that malarkey, and so ends day 1 and 2 vlog, because I probably shoved them together, let's be honest, from Efteling, from Stasia Travels. Hope you've enjoyed it, because I certainly have, although I was dying on day 1 because the heat was way too much. Like, it's sunny now, it's really sunny now, but the heat is absolutely nothing like it was before. So just in case I haven't got time for Aquanura on this, I shall just show you a little pan of the lake, because who doesn't love this lake? Such a beautiful park. You've got to come here. Please promise. My camera's about to die. Just please promise you'll come to Efteling, please. It's amazing. And like and subscribe and share. Do that shit as well. Bye bye.